Hey everyone, welcome back to the Howard Homestead. If it's your first time, welcome. We sure are glad that you found us. Today is going to be an interesting day. We're going to learn a little bit more about the tortoises, and you're going to meet them. And I'm super excited because in just a little bit, we're going to be meeting a new friend. I was approached this week about a homeless sulcata tortoise that needed someplace to go, so I agreed to take him in. Him, her, we don't know what it is. So I'm very excited because you'll get to meet this little one at the same time as I do. So welcome, enjoy today's video. Is that good lettuce, Frankie? You're going through it real quick. Good stuff. Oh, looks like somebody else is gonna be joining you. It's getting harder and harder to tell Rocky and Pearl apart, because Rocky's shell is evening out and Pearl's shell is lightening up a bit, so they're closer to the same color. I think this one up here is probably Pearl because her shell looks a little bit darker. If I can actually, maybe it's Rocky. Let's see here. Oh, no, it's Rocky. See, because Rocky has this marking right here. So, and Pearl, so Pearl is that one right there, and her shell is more even. And then, of course, Pebbles just has the messed up shell. He was probably a little bit deformed when she hatched. But that's okay. We love her anyway. We all have our little flaws, right? But so Rocky over here on the left is our boy, and he's quickly catching up in size with Frankie, who is on the right. Frankie's a girl. Frankie is about, how old is she? She was born in 2015 in the summer, so she'll be 9 this summer. She's about 8.5 years old. We've had her basically the whole time. She fit in the palm of my hand when we got her. She was that tiny. Now I can barely even lift her. And here come the other two. Who's gonna be first? Pebbles has an obstacle to go over. Pearl's going around. It's a race. Who's gonna get here first? What have you been eating, Pearl? You got a red face. Did you find a strawberry? And what's on your foot there? I've heard a lot of stories about how tortoises need to be kept alone. They're solitary creatures and they'll try to hurt each other, flip each other over and whatever. Well, that may be the case in some situations, but it's certainly not the case here. And I'm thankful for that because they all get along, they all hide together in their little burrow, and Rocky over here on the far left being the only boy. He has his harem here, and of course, once the other girls get a little bit bigger, we're probably going to have to at least put them into 2 groups, because Rocky has already discovered that he likes girls, and he's discovered that he especially likes Frankie. So that's fine. If we end up having eggs and baby tortoises one of these days, that's great. But Pebbles is his sister, so that can't happen. So once Pebbles gets a little bit bigger, we're going to have to we'll probably keep Rocky and Frankie together, and then Pebbles and Pearl, because Pebbles and Pearl seem to always hang out together. Hey, Rocky. Don't let them fool you. They can move. They're fast. Since we moved here, Frankie has actually gotten out twice. Not since we've had them in this enclosure, but we thought that she would be able to just roam the yard without being in an enclosure. But she escaped twice, and she was on the move. One time the second time she got out, she was gone for 3 weeks. I put out notices on Facebook and Nextdoor trying to find her, and nobody was responding. People say that they all look the same, and they don't. I would know my tortoise anywhere. I responded to an ad of somebody who had found a tortoise, and it was probably about the same size as Frankie, but I went over and took a look, and I could tell immediately that it wasn't her. And then about 3 weeks after she went missing, I got a message on Facebook from somebody that I had never met, and they said, "I think we have your Frankie." And so turns out she had gotten out the back side of our property, went through the neighbor behind us, their property, so onto the street behind us. And the people that had her for a week. So maybe it's 2 weeks she was missing, not 3 weeks. So they had her for a week. So I don't know where she was that first week. But they saw my post, and they knew that it was her. They hadn't advertised that they found a tortoise, because they knew that people will, try to claim that a tortoise is theirs when it's really not. So when they saw me looking for her, they compared the pictures, and they knew that they had found her owner. So we went over on the golf cart and picked her up. She was just a street behind us. So we were so thankful to have her back. And it's been, an effort to keep them contained, because if they can see out, they're going to try to get out. So that's why it's so ugly in here, all these cinder blocks and stuff, because we don't want them to be able to see out. And they have knocked some of them over, so that's a little bit of a problem. But you should have seen us when we were trying to put this chicken coop together, because we thought that it would be good for them. But because it's surrounded by chicken wire, which is not strong at all, they could see out. And remember I said that they could move? Oh my goodness. It was crazy. I was just trying my hardest to keep them from going over. I couldn't put the bricks up fast enough. It was just ridiculous. They were on a mission. They wanted out. But they're all still here, so I guess as ugly as it is, we succeeded. And I know that this video is not very interesting as far as, changing of scenery or anything like that, but I just get a kick out of watching these guys eat, and I thought you might enjoy it. I thought you might enjoy it too. See the tongue? See Frankie's tongue? Here, let's look at Pearl. They're actually pretty good without having any fingers or hands. You would think it'd be kind of hard to hold on to their food, but they do just fine. They use their feet to hold everything in place. Pearl, you need to have your face washed. Having property has allowed me to take in some animals that need homes, and I love that I'm able to do that. When it came to my attention that this little guy needed a home, I was so excited that I was able to say yes. So here we go. Here's introducing tortoise number 5, little Morla. If the name Morla sounds familiar to you, it might be because you are a child of the 80s and you watched the movie The Never-Ending Story. Morla was the name of the giant turtle in that movie. People who found her and brought her to me are the ones who named her, and I always like to try to keep the names that animals come with. I'm going to do my best to try to remember this name. I did see that movie a long time ago. I think I'm going to have to watch it again just to remind myself of it. I do remember enjoying it.
I was feeding them first. They don't like me. Look.
They do too.
Look.
They do too.
I want to feed them.
They just have one mouth, and if 3 people are trying to give him food, he doesn't know which one to choose.
He run away. No, I know. I need to go away.
My son and his family were over at the time, so my 3 grandkids were able to help me welcome Morla to the family. And that is how you build a cat tree by yourself in less than 45 minutes. What do you think of the finished product? I think they're gonna like it. It'll give them a place to get away from the dogs when they're trying to chase them. So anyway, there you go. Not so sure about this placement for a couple of reasons. Number 1 is that cord right there. Number 2 is the birds. The cats have never tried to do anything with the birds, but I don't know that they have ever been this close. So this may need to be rethought. But when you have a small house, there's not a lot of options. Oh, you're gonna go up there? That's actually one of my favorite features of this house, is that ledge up there, because it's actually lined with lighting. So it's fluorescent lighting right now, but it's got some nice qualities when, when it's dark and you just turn on some mood lighting or whatever. So I don't want to cover that up so they can walk up there. Although, I don't know, they'd probably really like that. Lily? Lily? Well, I think Elsa's a fan so far. The others haven't gotten up there yet. Elsa's only there because I took her over there, but anyway, we'll see what happens. Well, thanks for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. As we close this out, I'm going to leave you with some video of our attempt to utilize what we have to clean up our yard. The intent was for the goats to eat the weeds. Well, that didn't exactly go as planned. She does. Cleaning up the dead palm fronds too, huh? Everything but the weeds. I also wanted to let you know that we're going to be having our next movie night with the goats on Saturday, March 16th. The weather looks good, so hopefully we won't have to cancel. The tarp. Thanks again for joining us. Please make sure you like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future videos. We'll see you next time. Bye. I'd like to extend a huge thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Shaw for the Chewy.com gift cards. The animals are so thankful. Also, thank you to Andrea and Pete for giving Morla his best chance by bringing him to us, and also for the dog beds and treats. They are appreciated.